Hey, hi. Hi. Obviously, I've got back from the Harry Potter premiere. It's taken me more than 72 hours to get around to filming this, and the reason, I could be really dorky and fairly honest and say that it was mostly the too much heartache to actually look into a camera and discuss Harry Potter. And then there's the other half of the truth, which was I've been doing math, summer work. I messed around with the YouTube channel. There is a background and a logo. All of these are things that I just threw in there. I haven't even discussed them with the other girls yet, and I am not attached to them at all. If anybody thinks they're not attractive or if we could do better, then I will be happy to take them off. Back to Harry Potter. As you can see, I'm dressed as a Gryffindor. I made my own wand out of duct tape and a piece of wood. The first thing about Deathly Hallows Part 2 that wasn't absolutely fantastic was the lack of the joke that Fred says before he gets killed, and the lack of Percy, you know, being protective of the body of Fred, not wanting to let him go because Percy was unable to redeem himself in the last movie as he was in the last book, and I'm afraid that the film fans who don't read the books are not going to like Percy because of that. Those are my only complaints. Overall, Deathly Hallows Part 2 is everything I wanted it to be. Dan Radcliffe has always been one of my favorite actors simply because of his role in Harry Potter, but he's definitely talented. Emma Watson, hands down, one of the best actresses in the film, if not the best actress in the film. Ron was hilarious whenever he was scared. I love Rupert Grint. He's so funny. Tom Felton did a wonderful job as Draco Malfoy. He was very good with what they gave him to work with. I don't think he was in Deathly Hallows Part 2 enough, but with the scenes that he had, he was absolutely fantastic. Neville Longbottom, Matt. Get on the internet, type in his name. There are things about the puberty fairy everywhere, and believe me, she did him some good. He has a fairly, I never thought he was super duper unattractive, but I mean, yeah, he got hot. His moments, he was perfect for Neville. Luna had her little power moments, the Harry Potter, you listen to me right now, and Ivana Lynch was absolutely beautiful in that she did that very well. Kept her Luna, and Luna finally got her the attention she deserved and has deserved throughout the entire franchise. But above everybody else, and I realize that part of it is the character who he was able to play, but nobody could have done what Alan Rickman did. That is one thing I'm not going to talk specifics about because that is something that I refuse to spoil for anybody who has not seen the film yet, regardless of whether or not you've read the books, because those scenes with Alan Rickman, when he is at his most broken, I will say that, when he is broken, Alan Rickman deserves an Oscar for Alan Rickman deserves an award every single year for the rest of his life for this one performance in the last film. He's always been such a great Snape, but you finally see the layers of Snape and the reason why Snape is who he is in this last film, and just Alan Rickman was Severus Snape. He was the man who I pictured while reading the book, and he was J.K. Rowling's Severus Snape. He was his own Severus Snape, and he was, I don't know any other way to say just Alan Rickman for all the awards for the rest of eternity. He should always get Best Actor, like once a year. Just Best Actor in general needs to be Alan Rickman. There needs to be that, and people wouldn't even have to vote because Alan Rickman, because of Deathly Hallows Part 2 that came out on July 15th in 2011. I would be on every single trophy and he would just have one for the rest of his years. I'm serious. He was brilliant. I agree with Daniel Radcliffe that this is the most phenomenal film out of all of the series, out of the entire series. It deserved the $25 million or whatever it made. It deserves everything. The director, the film, and anybody who worked on this film, the makeup crew, the script writers, just everybody, thank you. Sincerely, from every Harry Potter fan that is out there ever, thank you, thank you, thank you. You brought these magical books to life, and we were able to watch and see our dreams, everything that we imagined these books to be, come to life on screen, and we got to kind of meet these people, these wonderful, wonderful characters. The actual actresses and actors who played these parts were wonderful people. Whoever did the casting, you were very talented. You picked the best people for the job, and I love that so many of them stuck. I mean, the majority of the characters who were in the first one were all in the last one. And last, but most certainly not least, to the brilliant J.K. Rowling. Jo, thank you for the last 12 years of my life. My mother started reading me the Harry Potter books when I was really young, and my imagination soared with every single word that you put on those graced pages. You created this world that every single child who read these books was able to delve into and just take whatever they specifically needed from those books. They gave me courage. They probably gave other children different ideas of and virtues that they needed. You provided something no one else has provided before in this grand of a scale, this big of a franchise, and I'm just so grateful. Harry Potter's not over, and it's never going to be over because you created something so solid, something that is so based on natural human characteristics. Every character that you wrote about can be seen in real people. I know people who are as determined as Hermione, people who are as brave as Harry, people who are as scared and hurt as Malfoy. These characters that you created, they stemmed from real characteristics that people can have, and so you are teaching children and have taught children for the last 10 years about people, and you've given me a greater appreciation for people in general, human life, human sacrifice, not human sacrifice, like that's a good thing, but I mean like the sacrifices people will make for others. And it's glorious how much you seem to care about your fan base, and it just makes me even more thankful that you wrote what you did and that you are who you are. And maybe another book series is going to come in 3,000 years that is as wildly accepted and loved as the Harry Potter series, but that author is going to be worn out because of how amazing the series is. It's going to be hard to beat, and I'm proud to call myself a Harry Potter fan. Thank you so much. I found a really cool song on the interwebs, which will be linked underneath me, where a girl with a great voice, like just an amazing vocalist, she sang the story of the three brothers, Ignatius and the other two, I think that's what his name is, Ignatius and the other two, from the Deathly Hallows, and I will put that down there, what John and Hank like to refer to as the doobly-doo.